Our first long-listed home, built against the odds, sits in the remote Outer Hebrides on Harris, a rugged island off the west coast of Scotland. This is Clarke, a jewel-like home built beside the water and through 9 savage storms. The house is compact and efficient, centered on a bright, open-plan kitchen and living space. Of this is a quiet bedroom, a single bathroom, a utility room, all neatly arranged with no need for corridors. It was the work of a brave couple. Its architects, Ailey and her partner, Jack, who built it by hand. They moved to the island after falling in love with it when visiting. While they planned the project, they rented and got their first taste of the challenges of building here.
I think we're off home.
Calling it a day then.
We went through one of the first named storms there. This was a traditional stone house and the house was shaking.
The roof blew off. The polytunnel at the back flew away. We were actually nervous our car was going to roll. I think it was gusting over 100 miles an hour. It was quite a welcome to the island.
Ailey had a strong vision of how to make something that would belong in this place.
We knew that we wanted to be working with the stone, with the materials from the landscape.
Easier said than done, of course, but their friend Dan, a stonemason, took on that hard task with relish.
We're working with something called Louisian gneiss, and that is incredibly dense and incredibly heavy. So the first few days trying to get my body conditioned to be able to just lump that stuff around was really, really difficult. It was really, really tough going.
This ancient rock, Louisian gneiss, is what the whole island is made from. And there was also a great big lump of it right in the middle of where Ailey and Jack were building. So Ailey made a big design decision.
We decided to actually work with it. Using the area that we had around this rock created this 135-degree angle.
Inside, this unusual shape makes the small house feel bigger. It opens it up with angled views through to other rooms. The RIBA judges admired this compact yet generous home, where each space has a different character.
You can see through from the living space into the kitchen space whilst they are still separate. So that's really successful.
Each one of the rooms spans directly off of a centralized living room, and it's making the most of the space within a very, very small house. So there's no circulation.
They managed to build this extraordinarily beautiful place for just £167,000 by designing and building it themselves, living on site as they were building.
What I'm most proud of is the fact that we've done it.
Yeah.
We kind of set out to do this without knowing what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to do a really nice design. We wanted to have a place that we could live ourselves, that reflected our values, our ethos, how we practice. We ask clients to take the risk every day in our work. And so if we can't do it, then
Yeah.
it's tricky to ask other people. So I'm so proud that we've taken the leap to live somewhere that we want, to build something that we want.
Yeah.
And we're now living here, and it couldn't be better for me.
Joining me is the chair of the judges, David Kahn. David, how many houses have you chosen from this category to be on the shortlist?
So in this category, there are 2.
First being?
Clarke and Clarke. It's very, very carefully put together. It's a level of craftsmanship that exceeds just the material and its assembly. It's so inspiring. It really isn't a building that's about itself. It's a building about a way of making homes, about the island, about craft traditions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, wonderful.
Oh, well, if we can, I don't know, again, if our story can inspire others, then that would be the nicest thing that maybe comes of it. But that is an incredible piece of news. Thank you.
I'm in Surrey to visit our next long lister. This is Triangle House, a mid-century home which has had a Caribbean-inspired reworking. The RIBA judges praise the playful and inventive use of materials, colour and form that propel it into something exceptional. Inside, there's a double-height hallway that connects the living room, TV room, and storage space of the original house. There's a long kitchen diner split by brick partitions with a larder at the front and doors to the garden. Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms connected by a bridge and a bathroom. It was designed by architects Benedetta Rogers and Daniel Marmot.
Benedetta, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet
Daniel,
you.
good to
Welcome.
meet you. Thank you. Where did this overhanging canopy and V-shaped structure come from?
We added this quite colourful canopy and column, which sort of wanted to show that something slightly different was happening beyond.
I mean, looking at the house, it's got a really strong identity.
The client gave us this book called Caribbean Style, which is an amazing reference book of kind of different colours and atmospheres in traditional Caribbean houses and some more modern ones. And they really wanted to bring some of that flavour through into this house. So we really wanted this feeling of a house that's transportative when you step through the front door.
And when you step into the kitchen, it doesn't disappoint.
This just makes you happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the yellow was like a really important colour for the client. They really loved this idea of it feeling like a really sunny, optimistic interior.
But it's not just the colour that lifts you. It's the way the house opens up. There are no corridors, no rigid plan, just a gentle sequence of spaces, each one giving you a glimpse of the next.
The client at the beginning, they were quite clear they didn't want it to be open plan, but we've created something which feels like an overall space, but it's also got very distinct qualities.
And yet the result still feels expansive and open. In Caribbean homes, open layouts are often used to keep heat from building up. Here, they're used for a different reason.
Every time you have a doorway, you have to buy the door, you have to pay for the hinges, you have to install it, you have to paint it, you have to line it. So doing away with doorways was a way of both taking the cost out of the project, but also creating this spatial experience.
Wow. And when you take that and then multiply it by 10, 20, these are significant savings.
And we call this an enfilade of spaces, almost like you might get in an art gallery where you walk from one room into another, but you always get views from one room to the next. So, for example, if you're in the kitchen cooking, you get a glimpse of the dining hall, but you don't feel like the kitchen and the dining hall are all open plan. So it's kind of somewhere between open plan living and a series of isolated rooms.
Step out into the garden, and you really couldn't feel further away from suburban Surrey outside.
This is the space, isn't it? This is what it's all about. It's about being out here. This relationship with the garden, it's just magical.
Yeah, it's funny, the clients call this space Club Tropicana because it does feel like it's quite unusual in this setting. So you've got these kind of big banana palms and all the really lush planting, make it feel like you're not in the UK.
The careful use of colour inside continues outdoors, where the blocks making up the triangular columns aren't quite the familiar grey. They're a very subtle shade of blue.
And all of those colours from inside, those bright, vibrant colours, they're pulled through into here, but then just slightly notched down a tone to this wonderful kind of aqua blue.
Well, it's funny that you say wonderful, because these have actually never been specified before this house. They were so unpopular when the company launched them that we showed them to the client and they really loved them. So we asked for some, they said, actually, well, we're not really producing them anymore. They've been discontinued, they're so unpopular. But we managed to find a dusty pallet in the corner of their factory that was left over. So we took that and brought it to site, and then the builder really skillfully cut them into these triangular columns.
They didn't throw money at it. Instead, they found value in the overlooked, the dusty and forgotten, allowing them to focus on what's really important.
By stripping out expensive finishes and complex detailing, they've allowed this house to truly sing, which means that every single day, it transports you to a tropical paradise.
Joining me is one of the judges, Livia Wang. How many houses have you shortlisted from this category?
one.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Which is?
Triangle house.
Triangle. So what is it about that house that caught your imagination?
It's colourful, it's inventive. So all the blue block work, did 2 cuts on it, so they all came on an angle, so they had this really nice blue stone columns.
It's pointing to adventure, isn't it? It's saying, come with me and I'm gonna take you by the hand and lead you on an exciting journey through this place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow, that's really good news. I mean, it's great. It's because it's also one of our first projects. So we only started our practice about 4 years ago, and building takes a long time.
There are 4 more places up for grabs before we find out which is crowned the 2025 RIBA House of the Year. It used to look like this, before it was knocked down and was reborn as this. Definitely an upgrade. This is the Orchards. The house is mostly single-story, stepping down gently with the landscape. You enter into a wide hallway, the heart of the home, which leads one way to the public spaces and the other to the private wing. In the public area, there's an open-plan kitchen, dining and living space, which opens onto a veranda. A flexible room nearby serves as a playroom, gym or guest space. In the private wing, there are 2 children's bedrooms, a family bathroom and a main bedroom suite at the far end. There's also a small upper-level guest room. It's home to Jonathan and Kirstie.
Hi.
Hi. Kirstie, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And you too, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
This building catches you off guard, and that's entirely the point. Sometimes buildings are really loud and, you know, they assert themselves, and this one does the opposite. Right up until the moment you sort of get to there.
It's a low-key entrance, and I think that fits us. We're sort of...
flashy on the inside, people.
You walk into a beautiful open-plan kitchen. The RIBA judges admired the restrained material palette and touches of luxury inside a home that was respectful to its rural setting. It's really nice, isn't it? And they've taken special measures to keep it that way, to defend it from the ravages of children. What is that kitchen tabletop made from? Is that stainless steel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stainless steel.
Giant
4 or
piece.
5 millimeters thick.
How did that materialize?
This was your
I think one of our themes throughout the whole house was it's got to be robust.
Yeah.
If it looks perfect on day one but gets beaten up by family life, it just won't work for us.
And you've got another one over there, which is just as reflective and beautiful. And that's hugely long. Is that one piece of steel?
It is one giant
single piece of steel. I don't think we knew it when we set out to make it, but there's only one place in the country who could cope with a piece of steel that long.
But this room isn't just built to be durable. It hides a few playful secrets. Is that a door, that thing, that great big piece of wall?
One of our few kid-free spaces.
So the little one didn't realise this was an actual room for, what, 4 or 5 months of being here, because we kept that door closed. And then it blew her little mind one day when her brother had left it open, and she discovered this whole extra
She is going to grow up with such a complex about deprivation, about being the junior excluded member of the family.
Or the joy of what's behind the door.
Or that, yeah. Or she'll just love surprises, yeah. In this house, no room is quite what you think it is. One stayed hidden for months behind a barely noticed door, and the corridor turns out it's doing far more than getting you from A to B. So this is the corridor stroke street?
Yes.
Sort of public highway.
It's almost become an extra room. It's where kids come out of the bathroom, we get them dry hair, brush teeth. Spend, a lot of time in this as a space.
You've got a place where they can easily come out and put on plays and have a chat and create a den.
And I read somewhere that every house should have at least one space big enough to get a toddler up to full speed.
Those bits in between, the not quite a room liminal spaces, are what I find most interesting about this house. These are the bits that quietly steal the show. We love to have labels for rooms, and the moment it hasn't got a label, the moment it's ambiguous, we worry that it's wasteful.
It's been a surprise, but yeah, we really live in those in-between spaces.
The rooms themselves aren't too shabby either. Full of personality and fun. That was important to the architect, Graham Bisley.
Each room has a different character by what you see outside. That bathroom's almost like a little chapel. You kind of go in, and the timber screen as you go in is a cross shape, and you go through, and there's this little side chapel, which is the shower. Everyday experience should be pleasurable. It's not just a functional thing, walking out of your room and going for breakfast or whatever. You can have an experience on that journey.
This is a house that is thoughtful and full of surprise. It's calm but never dull. Every corner has been considered. Every detail earns its place. And the result is silently special. A home that works and one that keeps getting better the longer you spend time here. This is a quiet house. You know, it has its collar up and its eyes to the ground as it slowly slips its way through the grasses in the orchard. But, you know, it may be quiet, but it is also resilient, and it's playful, and it is strong, and in places also ambiguous. I mean, it works a magic, and I'm sure that if I spent time here in its company, my blood pressure would lower, and I would perhaps be more at peace with myself, and even perhaps a little happier, which makes it a really transformative building.
I'm in southwest London to see our next building that's not afraid to make an entrance. It's bold, brilliant, and as carefully crafted as a punk's mohawk. It's a building that's loud, proud, full of poise and attitude. This extraordinary home has a single-story extension and a tower. The single-story section has a front office, comfortable guest bedroom, and downstairs bathroom. There's also a spacious, open-plan kitchen connecting to a cozy snug. Beyond this, there are 2 additional bedrooms. Both open directly onto a serene central courtyard garden. In the tower, on the ground floor, there is a dining room. The first floor is home to the main living area, while the top floor is devoted to a luxurious master bedroom suite. At the rear of the house is a garden space complete with a versatile summer house that doubles as an office. The owner is retired marketing director, John.
Walking up the street, this makes an impression. I mean, it stands out. It's really quite splendid.
It is somewhat different. And if I had £1 for everybody that had commented on it, stopped and photographed it, I could have paid for the whole house.
This is a fantastic approach. And what an entrance. Could we have a moment for this door? The scale of this, John. I mean, it's huge.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the material quality here, this is brass, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not something you would normally use on a door.
No.
It's heavy, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's something that you would normally use for a door handle or a letterbox.
Yes. It sets the scene for the whole house. I think this attention to detail you will find goes through the house as a whole. And that's a tribute to the architect.
Step inside, and the loud shapes and extravagant materials on the outside soften to something more serene. To have a courtyard garden here is quite something. The way that this corner just flies round, totally unsupported, you're performing structural gymnastics.
Yes, and that's not all, because this door and this glass all around the courtyard opens up, so the kitchen effectively becomes part of the courtyard. And it's an ideal place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So often you go into a house and you've got a corridor and 3 rooms or whatever.
And I thought it would be very nice to have where you walk in and you see different aspects of the house as you walk through it.
If downstairs is about the calm, practical day-to-day, the tower is where the fun happens, where guests get to enjoy the house in the first-floor living room.
This house is all about the entertaining.
Yes, it is.
And part of entertaining, of course, is theatre.
Exactly.
So you have the kitchen downstairs, you've got the movement through to the dining lounge, and then drinks in the lounge upstairs?
Or on a summer's evening, drinks on the terrace where the sun's shining. And you can have pre-dinner drinks out there or pre-dinner drinks out here. And post-dinner drinks out there or post-dinner drinks out there.
Seem to be a lot of drinks, John.
Well, there are a lot of corks downstairs.
There are.
Entertaining here isn't an afterthought. It's the whole point. Like any star venue, it needs a grand entrance.
Oh, they are enormous.
So the architect, Ian Crane, gave it one.
It's not even just the height. I mean, look at the width of these. I mean, how tall is this?
Well, they're just under 6 meters high.
Where do you even begin to get a piece of glass that size?
There are only a couple of companies in the UK that can manufacture glass of this size and scale, and eventually we've chose a company who are based in Turkey. So we're transporting these bits of glass across Europe. It was fraught with danger. Ultimately, the windows went in just before Christmas, and it was a bit like today, very windy. These large pieces of glass going in at a high level just the day before Christmas. One small ding on the side of the building, and then you lose a piece of glass, you'd be back to square one again.
Mercifully, there were no breakages. What's really impressive about this house is the effortless ease with which it guides you around it, from room to room. It's a place that encourages exploration and rewards you for doing it.
Most houses are containers for the chaos in our lives, the stress and the pressure of work. But this house, well, this is very different. This steps in and it intervenes. From the moment you walk up the grand staircase to that beautiful brass door, this house takes over. The continuous lines of the brickwork guide you through. There you have options. Do you travel up to the tower and admire the views of the river, or do you dwell in the serenity of this courtyard? At every single moment, this house steps in and slows your life down. And that's a very, very special thing.